The institution of marriage has been attacked globally since the dawn of time. We see this in Genesis 1. Then 2 chapters later, Satan attacked Adam and Eve in the garden. He waited till Eve was separated or divided from Adam before he came there. It is the same tactic used today to alienate and break our relationships with our spouse and then our children. A family united will stand, but a house divided will fall. We see that in Matthew 12:25. We will not be able to stand the external pressure society imposes on us if we're being divided. On June 16, 1858, Abraham Lincoln used this same quote to open his speech against the Democratic nominee Stephen Douglas. This quote he used was considered too radical for the times. I believe this same quote holds true for today, as we see an attack on our marriages greater than any pandemic. Skip forward to the Industrial Revolution. The American family was stripped of 2 of its traditional social functions. 1, serving as a unit for economic production, and number 2, a school for vocational training for our children. The first function was removed by commercial firms, the second removed by the state. Our government is falling apart because families are falling apart across America. We cannot afford to take care of the problems broken families are causing. In 1947, Harvard professor Carl Zimmerman issued a report warning America that we were following in the steps of Rome, Greece, Egypt, Babylon, Samaria, and all great civilizations of the world that fell from within. Every society that becomes great does so by adopting a conservative biblical model. Doesn't matter if they were Christian or not. All became great when they had strong families and strong marriages. Every society that fell made the same 7 mistakes. We are not enlightened as a society. We are doing the same thing in America today. These are the 7 signs of the atomistic age. Atomistic meaning falling apart. Number 1, marriage loses its sacredness and is frequently broken by divorce. We see that running rampant today. 1 out of 2 marriages end in divorce. 1 every 36 seconds. That's 16,800 per week. The average length of marriage is 8 years. That's astounding. Number 2, the traditional meaning is lost. When this is lost, alternative forms of marriage are found. Non-marital cohabitation spreading among young adults is becoming the normal. Number 3, feminist movement abounds and women lose their inclination for childbearing. Today in Japan, Italy, Germany, and the Netherlands, they are facing a depopulation crisis. They are not having enough children to replace themselves. It is said we need 2.3 children per couple for society just to sustain our population. That is what is happening in America right now. We're not increasing, we're just sustaining. In the state of New Mexico, abortion is legal up to the 3rd trimester. There's no waiting periods, no required parental consent, and no restrictions to use state funding. Before societies depopulate, they all have liberal family laws. As a result, women become feminists, and when there is no marriage, they lose their inclination for childbearing. Number 4, there is an increased public disrespect for parents and authority. We see that today. 5, increase in juvenile delinquency, promiscuity, and rebellion. Number 6, hostility from liberals towards the traditional family. This ideology is spreading and the contempt for marriage is growing amongst the people. We see this as the average person in America today no longer believes in marriage. In 1930, 83% of adults were married. Today, 49.7% of adult Americans are married. And the 7th pillar here, there is an increased acceptance of adultery and sexual perversion. Today, there is 150 million daily views on Pornhub alone. 22% of married men admit to an affair and 14% of women. Every society that has fallen from within has met these 7 signs that I'm speaking to you guys about. When marriage fails, society falls. We need to generate and perpetuate the nature of God and values of his kingdom. Our society rests on this. Our current state is in moral decay due to the attack on our marriages. It is a war that has been waged since the beginning of time. As men and women, we need to stand up and fight for our families. I believe this truth will strike home to the minds of men and women. It will serve as an awakening to rouse us to the blueprint God created for successful marriages and families. My prayer today is that you guys really think about what is important during this epidemic, during this time. Think about your loved ones. Think about leading your families. This is a call for men. Men to stand up and lead their families. To really stand up and be that man who God called you to be. To rise up. And I'll leave you with that. I just want to thank every one of you guys right now. This is amazing. This is just such a blessing to be here. God bless you, and just thank you for this opportunity. Love you guys.